You finally achieve something you've wanted for years, and still feel completely empty. Everyone around you is excited, celebrating, but you're just quietly sitting there. You keep waiting for that happiness to hit, but it never really arrives. At first, you tell yourself maybe it just hasn't sunk in yet. But even after hours or days, that empty feeling still stays inside. And then a strange thought shows up. Something must be wrong with you. Because you worked so hard, and this was supposed to feel completely different. You imagine this moment many times, expecting relief, excitement, maybe even pride. But reality feels quieter, flatter, almost like nothing actually changed at all. And that's when confusion slowly turns into overthinking without you even noticing. You start replaying the moment in your head, trying to feel something again. Maybe you think you didn't celebrate enough, or maybe you missed something important. So you look at it again, the result, the achievement, hoping it feels different. But the more you look, the more normal it starts to feel instead. And that's where it gets uncomfortable, because this was your big moment. The one you thought would finally make everything feel worth it inside. But your brain doesn't react the way you expected it to, because it was focused on the chase, not the moment after. While you were working toward it, your mind stayed engaged and active. Now that it's done, there's nothing left for it to hold on to, and that sudden quiet can feel strange, almost like something is missing, because you're not used to stopping after chasing something for so long. Your mind was always busy planning, pushing, and thinking about the next step. Now there's space, and instead of peace, it feels like emptiness instead. People think success automatically creates happiness, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes your expectations grow bigger than what the moment can actually deliver. You imagine a feeling that reality simply cannot match in that exact way. So when it finally happens, it feels smaller than what you built inside. And that gap between expectation and reality is what creates that emptiness. Not because you failed, but because your mind was expecting something unrealistic. And the more effort you put in, the bigger those expectations quietly become. You don't just want success, you want it to fix how you feel. Like it will finally make you confident, complete, or satisfied inside. But success only changes your situation, not your internal emotional patterns. So if you felt uncertain before, that feeling doesn't just disappear automatically. It just becomes quieter for a moment, then slowly comes back again. That's why you can achieve something big and still feel like nothing changed. Because deep down, you were expecting an emotional transformation, not just an outcome. And when that transformation doesn't happen, your brain starts questioning everything, including your effort, your goals, and even your own sense of self. And that's when it starts feeling deeper than just one empty moment. It begins to feel like maybe nothing will ever actually satisfy you. So you start thinking maybe the goal itself wasn't the right one, or maybe you should aim for something bigger to finally feel something. But that thought quietly keeps you stuck in the same repeating cycle. Because now you're chasing the feeling, not just the achievement itself. And feelings don't work the same way goals and results usually do. They don't appear just because you reached a certain point in life. Instead, they come from how you experience moments while you're living them. Scene 50. Not just from what you finally get at the end of everything. So when everything was about reaching the goal, you stopped noticing the present. You trained your mind to focus only on what comes next, not what is. And once the next disappears, your mind feels lost without direction. It's like finishing a long race and suddenly not knowing where to go. That pause feels empty, not because nothing matters, but because you pause. Most people don't realize their identity was built around chasing something constantly. So when the chase ends, they don't recognize who they are without it. It's not just about the goal being over, it's about losing the momentum. And momentum is what was giving you that sense of purpose every day. Without it, everything feels slower, quieter, and strangely disconnected from meaning. And in that quiet, your mind starts searching for something to hold onto. But instead of clarity, it finds more questions about what really matters. You begin to notice how quickly the excitement faded after everything ended, almost like the moment wasn't as powerful as you believed it would be. That realization feels uncomfortable because you invested so much into that outcome. So part of you starts wondering if all that effort was even worth it, not because it wasn't meaningful, but because it didn't change how you feel. And that disconnect is what makes the emptiness feel even more confusing, because from the outside, everything looks like it should feel perfect now. But inside, it feels like something important is still missing. And that's when you slowly realize the feeling was never in the result. It was in the meaning you attached to reaching that result all along. You weren't just chasing success, you were chasing how you thought it feels. And when reality didn't match that imagined feeling, something felt off inside. Not broken, just different from what your mind carefully built over time. So now you're left with something real, but not emotionally complete, which makes you question if the next goal will finally feel different, or if it will repeat the same quiet ending all over again. Maybe the real question isn't about the goal, but the expectation. So tell me, are you chasing the result or the feeling behind it?